When the headlines hit the sports world like a shockwave, the words were blunt. Instant panic hits WNBA after $40 million loss for Caitlin Clark's rookie season. And they weren't kidding. It was as if the league had suddenly tripped over a loose shoelace mid-breakaway, stumbling awkwardly and leaving the fans holding their breath. The big expectation of Caitlin Clark's rookie season, loaded with promise and dollar signs, didn't just underdeliver, it face-planted, and the numbers left a bruise for everyone to see. But before we proceed further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. For the WNBA, Caitlin Clark's entry into the league wasn't supposed to be just another rookie season. It was a full-blown, hyped-up production that came with sky-high hopes and a marketing blitz that hadn't been seen in years. If you listen to the buzz, she was painted as a one-person renaissance for the league, a new-age savior for a sport that had been looking to broaden its fan base and close a yawning financial gap. After dominating in college basketball, leading the Iowa Hawkeyes to thrilling games with buzzer beaters and deep threes that turned the internet into her personal highlight reel, Caitlin Clark had transformed herself into a household name. Her rookie season was built up to be this grand spectacle that would turn casual viewers into devoted fans and bring financial stability to a league struggling to break even. But reality has a way of rudely interrupting even the best-laid marketing plans. The WNBA's financial hit wasn't some random hiccup. It was the sound of an entire strategy unraveling. The league reportedly took a $40 million hit, and the reaction wasn't measured. It was like watching a team lose on a buzzer beater in a championship game, and the looks on everyone's faces said it all: disbelief and panic. It wasn't just the money that was lost, it was the sheer weight of expectations that came crashing down. Caitlin Clark was supposed to be the new cornerstone, but the pressure to carry the league might have been too heavy, even for shoulders that have taken on big moments before. Caitlin Clark isn't your typical athlete, though. Even in college, she was a walking highlight reel, a scorer with the kind of shooting range that made defenders look like they were guarding thin air. She didn't just play the game. She lit up the scoreboard like she was making up for lost time. And it wasn't just her skill that got people talking. It was the way she played, with this fearless swagger that left defenders shaking their heads and fans cheering. In an era where social media turns moments into memes and highlights into viral sensations, Caitlin Clark was a gold mine. It wasn't just basketball, it was entertainment. The problem, though, was whether the hype could translate into cold hard revenue for a league that has been struggling to find its footing financially. The WNBA bet big on Caitlin, not just as a player, but as a brand. And while the fans bought into the narrative, showing up in droves for her games, something crucial was missing. The ticket sales looked solid enough on paper, but the broadcast numbers told a different story. And here's where the panic set in. Those off-court metrics didn't just underperform, they bottomed out, leaving the league in a tough spot. With over $40 million in projected revenue lost, the league's top brass couldn't just ignore it or chalk it up to a bad quarter. Caitlin, for all her star power, faced a world of expectations that would make even the most seasoned athletes break into a cold sweat. Her arrival in the WNBA was supposed to be a home run for the league, a surefire way to attract new fans, boost television ratings, and inject fresh energy into a sport often overshadowed by its big brother, the NBA. But turning college stardom into professional league success isn't an easy crossover, and Caitlin was learning that at warp speed. A professional league operates on razor-thin margins, and unlike in college, where the focus was on jaw-dropping highlights, the stakes were higher now. She was no longer just playing for herself or her team. She was, consciously or not, playing for an entire league's survival. For Caitlin, this wasn't a problem that a few more three-pointers could solve. The business of sports is a different beast altogether, and even the biggest superstars can't outrun the cold realities of economics. Despite her massive following and the boost in ticket sales for her games, it wasn't enough to lift the whole ship. The financial losses became the story, outpacing the thrilling plays on the court and the narratives around player development. It was like hitting a beautiful three-pointer only to realize your team was down by 20 points. The fans didn't hesitate to voice their concerns. Social media, that merciless arena of hot takes and harsh truths, exploded with opinions. Some blamed the league's marketing decisions, questioning if they had put too many eggs in one basket with Caitlin Clark. Others argued that the expectations placed on one rookie, no matter how talented, were simply unrealistic. Still, there were those who believed that the league's issue wasn't Caitlin's performance, but rather the league's inability to create a sustainable financial model around its talent. What everyone seemed to agree on, though, was that this wasn't a good look for the WNBA. a league that had been fighting for respect and relevance for years. For the WNBA executives, this loss wasn't just a financial blow, it was a warning sign. They had banked on Caitlin Clark's star power to draw in a new generation of fans, and when the numbers didn't back up the hype, it was a harsh reminder that stardom alone can't fix deep-rooted issues. The league had pinned so many hopes on this one season, counting on the revenue boost to offset other operational costs, and now, with the loss out in the open, the panic was almost palpable. There were urgent meetings behind closed doors, fingers pointing in every direction, and the unmistakable tension that comes when things go very wrong, very fast. Caitlin, in the midst of this financial storm, tried to keep her focus on the game. She was still a rookie, after all, still figuring out her place in a league full of seasoned veterans. The weight of expectation wasn't lost on her, but as she had always done, she faced it with the same tenacity and grit that made her a star in the first place. There's no doubt she heard the whispers, felt the stares, and sensed the unease every time she stepped onto the court. The media didn't shy away from reminding everyone of the stakes, and every game was scrutinized, as if the future of the league rested on her shoulders alone. But here's the thing. Caitlin Clark didn't sign up to be the savior of the WNBA. She just wanted to play basketball. The league's financial issues were well beyond her control, and she had no part in the marketing decisions that painted her as a one-person revolution. She did her part, showing up and delivering on the court, but the financial fallout was a whole different game being played in boardrooms and marketing meetings. She was a player, not an accountant, and it was unfair to expect her to fix a problem that had been brewing long before she arrived. The league's situation brings up questions about whether the WNBA's strategy of banking on a single player to drive growth was the right move. The truth is, in a sport as complex and competitive as basketball, relying on one star to fix everything can be a risky game. Sure, star power matters. Fans love to follow the journeys of standout players, and their stories can inspire loyalty and enthusiasm. But the league's financial health can't rest on the shoulders of one person, no matter how talented or marketable they are. It requires a multifaceted approach, from improving broadcast deals to enhancing fan engagement and ensuring a stable revenue model that doesn't buckle under the weight of one bad season. The WNBA executives likely thought that Caitlin Clark's star power could be the catalyst for bigger TV deals, higher ticket sales, and more merchandising opportunities. After all, the NBA built its empire on the backs of star players like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant. But the WNBA isn't the NBA. It's a different market with different challenges, and trying to replicate the exact same playbook might have been an overreach. Caitlin's popularity, while significant, couldn't single-handedly overhaul the league's finances, especially when so many other factors were at play. What's clear now is that the WNBA has some soul-searching to do. They can't afford another season like this, not with the league's financial stability on the line. But this isn't just about financials, it's about trust. The league's fans had high hopes, and with those hopes dashed, there's a risk that disillusionment could set in. It's a tricky situation, trying to strike a balance between generating buzz and delivering tangible results. The panic that swept through the league in the wake of this $40 million loss is understandable, but it's also a sign that something needs to change. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We thrive on your feedback, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, keep discovering and stay tuned.